Hello everyone, so today we're going to be having a drink with me coffee shop edition with my latte here. Today I will be reading up my personal statement to optometry school that I wrote almost 10 years ago when I was applying for optometry school. Alright, this is my first time. Don't read in the dark. Don't read too close to the book. It's bad for your eyes. My mother pestered me about my eyesight ever since I was a little child in grade school. These first phrases were my first exposure ever to vision, eyesight, and eyeglasses. The next time I heard about eyeglasses was in the 5th grade when there was a free vision screening event held at my elementary school. I remember the school optometrist telling me, cover your left eye, cover your right eye. Can you read the next line? I remembered it clearly, the table set up in the room, the children lining up in the multi-purpose room with their paperwork, waiting to be seated for our preliminary eye exams. I was surprised how I was struggling to make out what seemed like little ants at the bottom of the page when the doctor told me to cover my left eye and look using only my right eye. From that day on, I found out that my right eye was slightly nearsighted and my left eye was slightly farsighted. Back then, as a 5th grader, I didn't know much about eyes, but I did know that most children who wore glasses were nearsighted, so I was surprised when one of my eyes was actually farsighted. My optometrist told me it was because I like to read with my head tilted, which ultimately made my eyesight uneven. And my mom told me the same thing in the past. Don't read in the dark, don't read too close to the book, it's bad for your eyes. With these thoughts in mind, I always thought that eye problems were primarily environmental and that I became nearsighted because I had bad reading habits as a child. But as I grew older, I began to see that eye problems are also largely genetic. For instance, high nearsightedness usually read in families and contradicting the case for the environmental cause. To this day, my ambiguous beliefs and exposure to eyesight problems further stimulate my interest and curiosity with vision, wanting to study more about optometry, from helping others identify vision loss problems to researching more about different eye diseases, determining symptoms and causes, and figuring out and educating new ways of preventing or slowing down vision loss. Like in my case, without having ever been to a vision screening, I would probably never have known that I needed to wear glasses because my near and far-sighted eyes would normally balance each other out. Sometimes vision problems aren't very apparent to the layperson, and one could easily be living with silent vision loss if they just get used to it or simply think, oh, it's just a normal part of life. Vision screenings are important, especially for people who may have a more potent disease. They can help catch a problem that could have turned out to be potentially fatal if not caught early, or at the least, they allow patients to know if they have or may have a problem with their vision. In the case where someone may have peripheral vision loss, it's easy to not notice the vision loss without proper medical attention because they can still have a clear central vision. But when even the central vision starts to lose out, it's probably too late. They could have glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, etc. All of which could either be preventable or slowed down had the patient been aware of it and started any treatment and special care of their eyes early. After experiencing firsthand the importance of vision screening, I wanted to educate others about their own eye health and what to do to prevent vision problems to treating or slowing down disease. I have been to a couple of vision screenings in Northern California, and I volunteer on a mission trip in Taiwan bringing vision care to people who don't have the time or money to fit in a regular appointment with an optometrist. They rely on volunteers to organize vision screenings. Volunteering through these vision screenings, I love seeing and hearing feedback from these community patients. Even if it's just from one patient, I love hearing how much they appreciate us, and I always enjoy it when a patient tells me about his or her unique story. Furthermore, after shadowing optometrists in private practices at different clinics, I love how optometry can be so different from working in quick, fast-paced business corporations with their strict missions and values to the many different personalities and management styles of private offices. I love how optometric patient care can be done quickly in a get-the-job-done manner, or it can be very comprehensive and thorough eye exam, covering all grounds and emphasizing quality patient care. Other than providing the patient with quality care and professionalism during an eye exam, I also love to help patients pick out the right type of eyeglasses and explain to them about the different options that come with glasses such as texture frame, lenses, UV protection, Polaroid or tinted lenses, etc. It's It's a tireless experience to be able to work with individual patients and witness each patient's satisfaction as each prescription best fits the patient based on his or her lifestyle and eyeglasses usage necessities. More patient satisfaction with a personalized fit for the glasses allows patients to want to wear the glasses more. As a proactive optometrist, I can volunteer in vision screening interventions as one of the primary practitioners and take on more responsibilities for the patient cases in order to maximize the number of cases I can see, rather than only being able to assist an optometrist, while at the same time not compromising the quality of care. Every day never has to be the same in such a fast-paced environment with all the tasks that must be done to ensure quality eye care, picking the right glasses contacts for the patients that come in every day. I want to use my knowledge of optometry not only to prescribe the right prescription, I also want to educate individuals and groups about vision, to students, patients, or the public, and emphasize the importance of daily eye care. I hope that one day the general public will see optometry as more than just a place to get glasses, but there is so much more to do than just that. Everyone needs to see an optometrist, whether they are a young age child or an elderly person. But everyone of varying age and ethnicity comes in for a different reason and comes out with a different circumstance. I love getting to meet different people, look into their eyes, and hear them talk about their perspective of life before and after vision loss. It's a great and timeless experience to be able to sit down and with one patient, young or old, taking care of their vision needs and listening to them spill their stories and then doing it all over again, but with a completely different story for the next patient and so on. That was a very long personal statement. I just did a quick research about optometry personal statements, and apparently they're supposed to be 4,500 characters, but mine was clearly over 4,500 characters. Mind you, this was almost 10 years ago when I wrote it, so things could have changed, but I realized that my personal statement might be a little bit too long. So, after rereading my personal statement I wrote about 9 years ago for optometry school, I learned a couple things. One, I should truncate my personal statement. Being the perfectionist I was and still am, but getting a little bit better, it felt like I was trying to create a story and try and tie in all of my experiences into the story because I wanted to make sure all my experiences were highlighted of why I wanted to be an optometrist. And if I could rewrite my statement today, I would definitely shorten it. It also looks like a personal statement should be under 4,500 characters, and I was at 5,000 plus characters, which is definitely over the limit from today's standards. I will definitely cut out some of my experiences and only highlight several experiences that could highlight my strengths, values, and passion for the career. When writing a personal statement, it's important to be honest and be you, of course, while staying professional to impress the schools you are applying for. Just like writing a decent start out with a hook, like an interesting story or a question. During the body of the personal statement, you can include your experiences and ideas to highlight the story and tell a story of why you would be a great applicant and why you're interested in being an optometrist. In the concluding paragraph, you can go back to your hook and write a last statement to bring back the hook and summarize experiences and highlights. Tell a story